Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh Weekly. As always, I'm Robo, and I'm not quite sure how to start this. I've got nothing exciting going on. I have been making progress on my workshop/studio that's outside the house so we can have this bedroom back. And in doing so, I was drilling, and I was pushing, and I threw my back out a little bit. It's not some major ordeal, but every now and then I'll twist and it'll be like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And I know that's the second injury I've talked about in the past few weeks, but I guess the moral of this story is, don't get old, kids. I mean, there's no helping getting old on the outside, but don't get old on the inside. And I guess in that aspect, toys help a lot. So saying that, as you saw in the intro, let me introduce you to MetaTravelers Legendari Series. Yes, with an I, Legendari. You know, the I that makes Google go, well, we're showing you the results for Legendary Series. And you're like, no, there's an I, stupid. And then Google replies, are you sure you don't want Legendary? Click, 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 click. Google, you should know me by now. I type so many comic book and toy collector and sci-fi movie terms that, yes, I mean Legendary. Either way, very interesting designs here. You can definitely see the Four Horsemen influence. Whenever I first saw it, before I even read the text, I was like, these are interesting. They're different, but there's something familiar. There it is. Gotcha. Which isn't a bad thing, but I think what catches my brain more here are the colors used, the paints. Those are going to be some amazing action figures if this Kickstarter goes through. Especially Quick Jack. These colors should not work together. They're almost Toxo Viperish, but amped up about 15 degrees. I also love the Lava Hot Rock paint job on Spite, and then the ice look for Meldmaster. You seeing a theme here? There are 15 different characters in the Kickstarter, and beyond that, there's mixing and matching and swappability, so you're bound to find something you like. Go ahead, go over, take a look. Another week, another Fresh Monkey Fiction / Big Bad Workshop Monster Force pre-order. Ooh, some more of that sweet, sweet modernized monster lore. Remember a few weeks ago when we talked about the Sleepwalker soldiers? Dr. Caligari is the creator and commander of those soldiers for the Forgotten King. That makes him a bad guy, but just looking at the design, can you not tell that it's an evil scientist? I mean, come on. I realize that makes it sound like I have a clue about what's going on, but really, I'm just looking at the pictures, skimming the description, and going, oh, that's pretty nice. Plus, it's a brain in a jar. Kind of sells itself. I will say the accessory count here isn't near as impressive as the Donner Party or the Eraser, but if you are buying this whole collection, it all kind of balances out, I feel like. You get this, you get extra stuff. You get this, not as much, but together, ooh, that's a lot of stuff. Plus, did I mention brain in a jar? When I heard that Good Smile Company was soliciting a Figma Assassin's Creed figure, I thought, yes! Finally, a video game franchise that I've played, that I know something about. But wrong. Then I thought it was Eivor from Valhalla, and I haven't played that. So, here we go again. Robo don't know. All I can tell you is that it's a nifty looking Viking figure. It does have that trademark Figma smoothness to it, like it's been put through a beauty filter and then shot out of a factory. But even that's the style of the line. That's what they do. But the essence is still there. It still has a grittiness to it. Or maybe I'm just projecting Viking onto it and thinking, oh, maybe I could fit this into my Asgardian display or something. Put it next to Thor. But then I remember Figma runs closer to true 1/12 scale most of the time. So it'll look small in the Legends display. But that puts me over to Star Wars Black Series. But with this being what it is, kind of a historically accurate Viking, it'd feel out of place over there. So I'm left with the feeling of, yep, there's that. That doesn't happen very often. I can usually look at something and go, oh, even though I don't know that, ba-bam, ba-bam, I can put it here, here, here. But, I need to go process these strange new feelings of having no reason to buy an action figure. What is happening to me? Okay, here is where I'm gonna expose myself. No. Okay, maybe that I could have worded that better. That's actually something over on onlyrobo.com. Did you type it? There's nothing there, sorry. I just mean that Fwoosh Toys put up pre-orders today for the Ninja Scroll Jubei figure. This is kind of a crowdfund situation. Orders will be open for the next month, and if it reaches a certain number, the money will be taken, they will be produced, and then shipped out at a future time. Kind of like the skeletons from last year, which are making their way out of the factory as I speak. They should be here very, very soon because... come on. But here's where I'm gonna get honest with you. I haven't seen Ninja Scroll since the 90s. I remember snippets here and there, and when Pab said, hey, we're gonna make Ninja Scroll, I thought, well, I better go back and watch that. But you guys know me. I haven't made it that far yet. I love the look, and having the prototype in hand at PowerCon, I thought, ooh, I want to play with this too. Hopefully it makes it. But, yeah, I guess I need to buckle down and watch it. I know. That, and Batman from the 90s, and the X-Men animated series, and many, many more. But here we are. All I can tell you is, hey, look, it's Jubei. But ninjas are kinda our thing. Ninja Scroll seems like a logical step up from that. Speaking of ninjas, when this pre-order window closes, in October, we'll be putting up the Consumed. Again, we'll see how many orders are made. If there's enough to get it produced, boom. And yeah, it uses a lot of the Fwoosh Ninja, but it adds a lot more to it too. The extra heads, some tweaks here and there, the bloody weapons. If this gets funded, then there will be more variations down the road. So, there you go. And here I thought Todd was going to take a week off after the sheer onslaught of DC Multiverse pre-orders last week, but nope. There's more. It seems there's another gold label McFarlane Toys store exclusive with the Last Night on Earth Omega vs. Batman. Almost all reuse here. I don't remember seeing that unmasked Omega head before, but I may have missed it because I don't know a lot about Omega. I don't think the first one had it. And then beyond that, it's mostly deco changes. There's some bloodiness going on. For regular releases, there is the DC Multiverse Injustice 2 Superman, and I guess I've never paid much attention to this design before. It looks okay, but the more I think about it, the more I see the Jim Lee-ishness of it. It doesn't have pouches, but it has those flourishes. Or maybe I'm just focusing on the headgear that covers the sides and allows the hair to come up and out and more full and bouncy. Can you tell I've never played Injustice 2? I'm just looking at this going, this Superman doesn't look like this picture of Superman. Saying that, I am absolutely in love with the DC Multiverse Injustice 2 Brainiac. Again, I'm not familiar with all the intricacies, but this has won me over, especially the head. That calm menace, almost an aged evil wisdom to it, you know? And that green skin tone with the perfect shading, it plays so perfectly off the sea of gray and black with little hints of pink. I like this. So much so that I'm considering asking Brainiac to the fall dance. I did this the wrong way, didn't I? He's over there. What do you say? You, me, a Bella Hay? See where it goes. And then finally, for a pretty promo pic reveal, there is the gold label Rebirth Supergirl. This will be available at Target, which means I'm more likely to just randomly run across it when I'm looking for something else. That's good because I'm liking this too. The red pants are kind of an off-ramp for my mental highway image of Supergirl, but it's not like it's into heavy construction or backed up traffic. It's just kind of something that's growing on me the more I look at this picture. All the rest of the beats are there. I dig what I see. But I'm going to have to see the rest of the solicitation pictures before making any final decisions there. Or it may be at Target next week. Who knows? Moving over to the Marvel section, let's swing back to last week's MAFEX MCU Winter Soldier Captain America classic costume where I said this. The colors are a little bright. It's not bad, but the blue could be toned down just slightly. And I'll be dang if Medicom didn't go, you know what, Uncle Robo, you're right. We're gonna tone it down. I was so right that they made that change before my video even went live. That's the kind of power I wield. The power to not see everyone else making that same point and then coming up with it like I'm original or something, when I'm not. But either way, I'm liking the colors here more than the initial promo pictures. Granted, this is not a great gauge of what the final product's going to look like. These are the original pictures put through a color filter or graded or something. They've made the changes digitally. But it does confirm that Medicom is making the change. Hopefully we'll see some kind of physical copy at an upcoming show or something. Another reason I wanted to talk about this again is the elbows and the knees. I was so focused on the colors of the costume that it didn't even register that those have been changed to single joints. And as a lot of you pointed out, they do look wonky. Especially here where it's blatantly clear that the elbow is a smooth ball-shaped swivel hinge swivel in between some beautifully sculpted limb. Who do you think you are, MAFEX? Figma? Why am I so down on Figma today? I have no idea. Anyway, Medicom, you have had a fantastic articulation formula for a while now. Why are you experimenting? Like on X-Force Deadpool, where the double elbow was changed up to be a solid piece in the middle, and when you articulated it, it didn't get near the range of other MAFEX figures, which was less parts. Is this a cost-cutting decision, or who knows? I guess we'll see how they actually work out in the end. But now that it's been pointed out to me, the Diamond Select Marvel Select Crimson Dynamo was revealed back at San Diego Comic-Con, and at the time I was all, ooh, I love y'all's titanium, man. This looks like more of the same. Gimme, gimme. This week pre-orders went live, and come to find out, there's more coming with this than we originally thought, so that's even better. First, the things we did know. We did know that this was gonna be a big red shiny bastard with the appropriate banding around the shins and the forearms and the shoulders. That's the basics required for a good Crimson Dynamo. I was sold at that point. I don't know what this was. What was this? Hey, give me more of this. Big old check mark. Done. Then we knew it was coming with an unmasked Dimitri head, and it looks fantastic because, come on now, bald, bearded, beautiful. Hey, give me a ringy ding. I'll play him in the MCU. Just like every other bald, bearded guy in the universe, of which there are many. But now we know that there is a third head, another helmet that is slightly different from the first one. In fact, side by side, it's mostly the same sculpt with a different set of eyes. Well, I say set of eyes. One has two eyes, the other has the visor. I can't decide which one I like better, but I'm thinking I like the visor more. But hey, there's options, so I don't have to make a decision now. I'm just gonna get the figure and then stare lovingly at it, going, do I like this one better? What about this one? That could be it. Nah, this week I want this one. This is going on too long, but I'm gonna keep doing it. Then to spruce things up even more, there's eye and hand blast for giving Iron Man a run for his money. The cool thing about this shot is that it shows the shoulder pads rotate with the arm, so there's not gonna be any up and out funkiness. It's gonna come straight forward for some blasting action. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Lastly, the size. Marvel Select is a 7-inch scale line. That's bigger than Legends, but that's fine. It's its own line. I got nothing against that. But I do favor the ones that can be fudged in either collection. According to the internet, and it's never wrong, right? It says that Dimitri in this armor stands 6'10". I'm terrible with numbers. I always have to double check. Considering that Legends is slightly larger than 6-inch scale when it comes to comic book characters, this is going in the main display. That's where the Diamond Select Titanium Man already resides, and that's slightly over 9 inches. Crimson Dynamo being between that and other characters? Sold. Pre-order justified. My shelf, my rules. While we're on the subject of Marvel Legends, the Infinity Saga wave went up for pre-order this week, and it is just a bunch of reissues, at least when it comes to sculpt, like Winter Soldier Black Widow. Same head sculpts, but so much better with the photoreal update. Seriously, look at them side by side. There is no way you can tell me the old ones were better. But then this one makes me a liar right off the bat because it seems they also changed up the upper torso and arms. Those parts may be sourced from another figure, but I'm not recognizing the double pinless elbows. For Bruce Banner, again, I think a lot of this is rehashed sculpts. The head may be new. I don't keep track of MCU. I buy some, but then when it comes to recognizing parts and pieces and reuse, it's like, all I can say is Bruce's face paints look good. And I don't have a Bruce banner for the shelf, so this is one of the few I'm getting out this wave. I feel like I already have this Winter Soldier Captain America, though, somewhere in the Captain America tub, because I love MCU Captain America. Again, though, better face paints, but I don't think those heads came with the original release. In fact, looking, I think the helmeted head is in-game Captain America, right? It looks a bit more proportionate on the body. Much better than the original release. Civil War Iron Man, like I just said, I don't really keep track of MCU figures anymore, and that goes double, triple, quadruple for Iron Man. There are just so many Iron Man armors these days, and I cannot tell the difference between most of them. I can kind of look at them and do a general timeline placement, but exact movies or marks, nope. Quick Google search does show that the reds here may be deeper than the original release. And then, of course, again, the unmasked Tony Stark head. Fourth verse, I think, is this the fourth figure? Same as the first three with the Civil War Spider-Man. Blues may be slightly lighter, and then a great-looking Peter Parker head, which I think came with the Ned 2-pack. And I only know that because I picked that up recently. More recently than a lot of MCU figures. And hey, look, can you believe it? There's a Dark World Thor with a completely reused body, updated paint on the head. I am running out of ways to say that. I'm not sure if I've seen that smiling head before. I don't recognize it, but again, it may have been a release that I passed on or missed or have forgotten about. Are you really surprised? I do believe that the Civil War War Machine was first released in a 2-pack with some orange-looking Iron Man armor. But there may have been other releases of this figure too. I never got that 2-pack because I didn't need an orange Iron Man. Do I need this War Machine? The gunmetal looks less metal flake this go around, more metal plate. So I don't know if I'd call that an upgrade. Considering the rest of the wave, though, why didn't this come with a Don Cheadle head? That would have sold some units. Finally, probably the highlight of the wave for me, Mark II Iron Man. Made myself a liar again, didn't I? There are a couple of Mark numbers I remember, like Mark II. In the movie, it was shiny chrome. That sticks in Robo's eyes. The figure isn't shiny chrome, which, oh man, makes me want to buy it and then shiny chrome it up. But then I have to go back and paint in each rivet that are just painted on the figure itself. Or I can take an actual punch, make holes, just tap them in, and then chrome it up, and then I don't have to worry about anything afterwards. Or I could just buy the figure, put it on the shelf, whichever's easier. Can you predict what I'm going to do? All in all, it just feels like a wave of figures for people who missed out the first go around or need the upgrades to the faces. That's the way I'm looking at this. But that's not all. Marvel Unlimited has announced Kid Nova as their next subscription exclusive. Like we've been talking about, this is reuse of the first Nova figure, just in those early New Warriors colors, and before that, his Kid Nova costume. So you know that figure can strike a better pose than this. This isn't doing it any favors. Turn to the side, because I didn't read a lot of Richard Rider before New Warriors, so I only know this costume from the first few issues of that. There, when he had the shoulder pads, he also had a flap on the front with some buttons running down. And then that was quickly changed to a skin-tight number where it came out on the shoulders flush and then showed some skin here. But then by issue 11, he was in the blue and golds, so it wasn't that long. I'm wanting to build New Warriors, but I'm good with the Nova I already have. This is more of an amalgam. It evokes Kid Nova for the most part. But I already have a Marvel Unlimited subscription, so I've been getting the figures. I guess I'm getting this one. I'll find something to do with it. And since it's a reissue kind of week, as I was walking in here, it was announced that Target will be having exclusive retro-carded versions of Moon Knight and Amazing Spider-Man. Both are essentially unchanged from their previous releases, except for Spider-Man. He's got the blue logo on his back. That is the only change I can find in these two figures, which apparently isn't a bad thing. As y'all know, I don't follow aftermarket prices, so I didn't realize how much the originals were going for at this point. I googled some pictures to make sure these were reissues, and I saw the prices and thought, whoa, okay. This is justified. This is for people who missed out the first time. Finally, let's tie a bow on this weekly with Star Wars Black Series. The Hasbro fan stream this week was kind of half ruined by eBay auctions from last week, but there were still some surprises. Last week we talked about Chopper, the HK-87 assassin droid, Morgan Elsbeth, and Ezra, but with pre-orders come more pictures, so I have a few more thoughts. Well, okay, not so much for Chopper. Like we were just talking about, this is good if you missed it the first time around. And then for Elsbeth, I'm still excited about getting my first Night Sister action figure, but I still wish she had something to actually hold. I'm gonna have to go digging through my Marvel Legends accessory bags, find some kind of green flame or something. The assassin droid is cool in the red color, just like in the premiere, but now that I've seen the premiere and looked at stills, it needs a wash. It needs dirtied up. It needs some more detail paint. Ezra is, I don't know how to say this without it sounding bad, but it's a bit more realistic than I was expecting. The eBay picture was blurry, and then we've only seen him as a hologram on the show. So this is our actual first look at Ezra in Ahsoka. Or at least mine. Again, I don't follow spoilers and everything. Again, I'm not saying that as a bad thing. It just took me a minute to adjust. Because really, if you're not into Ahsoka, this could still be used as like a Rebels Season 4 Ezra. But that makes me want a later Kanan too, with the mask thing. For something new, Marok is looking pretty sweet. When this was revealed, I didn't even know this armor had rust like this, but at that exact moment I thought, is the armor actually that light? Then I saw episode 3, and yes, it is lighter than I originally thought from the first 2 episodes, but maybe not this light. Like, it's somewhere in between what I thought it was and what the figure is. Still though, the figure looks kick-ass. Plus, I've completely fallen for the mystery surrounding the character at the moment. I'm a sucker, what can I say? And then finally, there is Professor Huyang. I think Yakface figured this out before the actual reveal because of the packaging art, but even still, it's nice to see the character in plastic. The pictures do not demonstrate that it has another set of arms on the backpack fully articulated, but again, this was revealed before episode 3, so maybe they were trying to keep that kind of a secret? I don't know. That just gives it more pose and play value. And then as always, when it comes to fan streams, there were some pipeline reveals. Moma Nadon and Target R5-D4 with pit droids pack are on the way. Hammerhead was an easy guess after getting Doc Ondar. Brand new sculpt, bigger figure. You gotta get more mileage out of that mold. Hopefully that'll make for cheaper fodder, because I need an Ithorian Jedi, and I need a couple more just to mess around with. And then it's odd to announce another R5-D4 before the most recent version even releases. Will this also have the updated astromech body? I'll hold off, see what happens. Actually, thinking about it, the one that we already know about on the new body that we already have pre-ordered is fairly clean. If this one comes with pit droids, it means it's from The Mandalorian, and there he should have a lot more grunge and grime. So that means it can fit on 2 displays. What'd I just say about being a sucker? I'm a sucker. And that's all I have for this week. And just like at the first, I don't have anything to talk about on the way out. So, are you still here? Go. There's nothing else to talk about. Don't know why I started doing this back out thing, especially when I still have so much stuff here all in the way that I need to move. Get off me. I need to get that building finished. Get some order to my life.